Thanks so much for watching this clip from the Athletes Only podcast. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any amazing swimming content. And now, here's my guest, Michael Andrew. Obviously, you're a world-class sprinter. Talk to me about like what 3 tips you would have for any like aspiring sprinters in the sport of swimming across all strokes. Just anything. It can be, specific to one stroke, but anything you got top of mind for tips?
Yeah, 3 things for aspiring sprinters. I think the biggest thing is, and this is more the racing side of it. So I think especially when sprinting, you don't have time to look and see what the person next to you is doing. So it's really important that when you do race, you stay in your own lane, because the moment you start to swim thinking, what is Caleb doing? Or what is Ryan doing? Or what is the guy next to me doing? Or what's his strengths, his underwater or his breakout? Or, I have to be fast at the 15 because of this. It's like, you don't have time to think about that. And in a 50, it's so marginal that if you waste any moment thinking about another athlete, you're only taking away from your own performance. So I think that's a big thing, is learning how to race and race in your own lane and in your own head and controlling the controllables. Outside of that, I think the technical aspect is huge. I think it's important for a sprinter to find the balance between technical and power. And this mostly I say just because we're in a new era of swimming where you look at a David Popovici and he's destroying guys that are twice his size. Like, skinny kings are fast. And I was like this. I remember the first time I beat Nathan Adrian head to head. I think I was like 16 or 17. Like, I was a beanpole and I had no right to beat him, but I didn't have the power, but I had the efficiency and the grit, and I knew how to move my body fast, and I was swimming times in 2018 that I haven't hit in a long time, and I'm bigger and stronger than I used to be. And so there's things that I think you need to understand as a sprinter is you don't need to be this massive muscular guy or gal to do that. It's you need to learn how to work with what you've got. And then I would say the third tip would be figure out what works for you or what makes you confident in your ability to sprint 50 meters. And what I mean by that is, obviously I do a certain thing. Another athlete does a certain thing. Like, everyone trains so differently, but I think sprinting is one of those things where, you look at like a Bruno Fratus or Ben Proud. It's like, Ben doesn't swim very far. Like, I've trained with him. He doesn't swim very much. He lifts a ton, super powerful, and then you've got guys like Caleb or someone else who can go through these traditional crazy long sessions and swim super fast. So it's all up to you as an athlete, figuring out what do you believe works, what do you believe is going to make you faster, and then do that. Because if you don't buy into it, like, there's no point trying to convince yourself that something works. And that's a bit broad spectrum, like that works for every athlete, mid-distance endurance. But sprinters especially, you can get away with not having to swim very much and still swim really fast. Like, even my buddy Michael Chadwick, like, he's not training very much. Like, I had dinner with him the other day, and he's made his comeback into the sport just to like see what's possible with as little training as possible. And it's like, you don't need so much. Like, your body just needs to be doing specific, clean, like efficient movements. It doesn't have to be beaten all the time.
Yeah, that was something that when I got to college, like, I was obviously in the club system doing thousands of yardage. And then I got to college, my lane mate my freshman year was Nathan Adrian. And I was like, why is this guy jumping in? Like, obviously he's Nathan Adrian, like, he can do what he wants. But I was just like, I don't get it. How is he still like going so fast? Like, obviously like Ryan Murphy, mid-distance swimmer, he's in early, out late kind of thing. Yeah. And Nathan just wasn't doing that. And I was so confused. And over the years, I began to have this understanding that you have. And that's an awesome perspective, man.